Jack Ma's life is a testament to perseverance in the face of rejection. Born in 1964 in Hangzhou, China, Ma grew up in a modest household. His parents were both traditional musicians, and the family had little wealth. From a young age, Jack showed an interest in learning, but his academic performance was not exceptional. As a child, Ma struggled with academics. He failed his entrance exams twice before finally gaining admission to Hangzhou Teachers College at the age of 18. During this time, he discovered his love for English, even though it was not something widely pursued by many in China at the time. True story. In his early teens, Jack Ma would ride his bike for miles to the Hangzhou Hotel, where he would practice English by talking to foreign tourists. He was determined to learn the language and gain a broader perspective of the world. Despite his limited resources, this passion for learning and communication shaped his future. He later reflected, "I went there for 9 years, every morning, to talk to foreigners. This was my first real education." However, Ma's struggles didn't end there. After graduation, he faced rejection after rejection. His application to work as a police officer was rejected. He applied to over 30 different jobs, and each time, he was turned down. Perhaps one of the most well-known rejections occurred when he applied for a job at KFC. Of the 24 applicants, Jack Ma was the only one not selected. Jack Ma's own words. "I was rejected by KFC. I applied 10 times. I was rejected by 30 companies. I am not a genius. I'm not the smartest person in the room. But I'm not afraid to fail." In these rejections, Jack Ma found fuel for his determination. He didn't allow these setbacks to break his spirit. Instead, he used them as lessons. The more people told him he couldn't succeed, the more he pushed forward. In the early 1990s, Jack moved to the United States as part of a government exchange program, and it was here that he had a breakthrough. He was introduced to the internet and the idea of e-commerce, which at the time was revolutionary in China. It was during this time that Jack Ma realized the potential of the internet to connect businesses and consumers in China. This discovery set him on the path that would change his life and the business world forever. Jack Ma's own words. "The internet is not a technology, it's a new way to do business. The future belongs to those who embrace it." In the mid-1990s, Jack Ma's journey took a crucial turn. After his exposure to the internet during his time in the United States, he returned to China with a vision that would revolutionize the country's business landscape. While many of his peers were still skeptical of the internet's potential, Jack Ma was certain that China had an opportunity to leap into the digital world. In 1995, Jack Ma, along with a small group of friends, founded China Pages, a directory for Chinese businesses on the internet. Despite their passion, China Pages did not take off as hoped. Jack and his team faced many challenges, chiefly the lack of understanding and trust in e-commerce in China. But Jack Ma was undeterred. He knew the future was online, and he was determined to make that vision a reality. In 1999, Jack Ma gathered 17 friends in his apartment in Hangzhou and pitched them an idea. He wanted to create an online marketplace that would connect Chinese manufacturers to international buyers. This was the inception of Alibaba, a name inspired by the story of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, symbolizing a place where anyone could access treasures. What started in a small, cramped apartment would go on to become one of the largest and most influential e-commerce platforms in the world. However, the road was not easy. In its early years, Alibaba faced major hurdles. In 1999, the company was barely making any revenue, and investors were skeptical. Despite the challenges, Jack Ma's charisma, vision, and tireless belief in his mission kept him going. Jack Ma recalled those early days with these words. "We were poor, but we had a dream." In 2000, Alibaba managed to secure its first major investment from Goldman Sachs and SoftBank, which gave the company the fuel it needed to grow. But even with the new investment, Alibaba still faced fierce competition from established companies like eBay, which had entered China. Jack Ma's big break came in 2003 when he launched Taobao, a rival to eBay. The platform was tailored to the Chinese market, offering services that were better suited for local consumers. For instance, Taobao allowed users to make payments via Alipay, which gave people confidence in online transactions, a crucial step in gaining consumer trust. In 2005, eBay, realizing it was losing ground in China, decided to pull back from the market and sold its Chinese operations to Alibaba. This marked a significant victory for Jack Ma and Alibaba, confirming that local understanding and innovation were the key to success. Jack Ma's own words: "If you want to be successful, you have to be different. You have to take risks." By the mid-2000s, Alibaba had secured its place as a leader in the Chinese e-commerce market. But Jack Ma wasn't content with local success. His vision was always global. He knew that the internet had the power to connect people across the world, and he believed that China had an important role to play in the global economy. In 2007, Jack Ma and his team took a giant leap forward by launching Alibaba International, a platform designed to connect Chinese manufacturers with businesses all around the world. This was a turning point for Alibaba, allowing it to reach beyond the confines of China's borders. One of the most significant moments in Alibaba's international expansion came in 2014, when the company went public with its IPO on the New York Stock Exchange. It was the largest IPO in history at the time, raising $25 billion. The world watched as Alibaba's stock soared, and Jack Ma became an international figure, a symbol of entrepreneurial success in China and around the world. But Jack Ma's journey wasn't just about the money. He viewed Alibaba as a force for good. He wanted to create a company that would empower small businesses, not just in China, but everywhere. He often said, "Alibaba is not just a business, it's a platform for helping small businesses succeed." Alibaba's rapid growth didn't come without challenges. As the company expanded internationally, it faced fierce competition from global giants like Amazon and eBay. Yet, Jack Ma's unique understanding of local markets and his ability to adapt to regional needs helped Alibaba remain competitive. In 2018, Alibaba's Singles Day, an annual shopping event, became the largest e-commerce day in the world, surpassing Black Friday and Cyber Monday in sales. It was a testament to Alibaba's reach and influence, not only in China but globally. Jack Ma's own words: "We are never in competition with others. We are always competing with ourselves." This mindset allowed Jack Ma and Alibaba to stay focused on their mission, innovate continuously, and stay ahead of the competition. Through its platforms, Alibaba, Taobao, Alipay, and others, Jack Ma built a digital ecosystem that became the backbone of China's online economy. But his ultimate goal was to change the world. He wanted to provide equal opportunities to businesses, regardless of size, and to democratize global commerce. Jack Ma's legacy. By 2020, Alibaba had transformed from a small startup into a global tech giant. Jack Ma's journey from a teacher with no connections to one of the wealthiest people in the world was nothing short of extraordinary. His leadership was defined not by greed, but by his belief in innovation, empowerment, and the potential of small businesses. But as Alibaba grew, so did its challenges. Jack Ma would soon find himself facing increasing scrutiny from the Chinese government and the regulatory hurdles that would come to define the final years of his leadership. Jack Ma's wisdom: "The most important thing is not money. The most important thing is your dream, your belief, and your team." As Alibaba soared to greater heights, Jack Ma's fame grew beyond China. He was hailed as the embodiment of China's economic success and innovation, an entrepreneur who had defied the odds to build a global empire. But with great success came significant attention, and with that, the inevitable scrutiny. In 2020, Jack Ma made headlines not for his business accomplishments, but for an incident that would change the course of his career. It all began with a speech he gave at the Ant Group conference in October 2020, where he openly criticized China's financial regulators. He spoke out against what he saw as outdated financial systems and called for reform to support small businesses. But those words, spoken in public, were taken as a challenge to the government's authority. A few weeks later, just days before Ant Group's highly anticipated IPO, the Chinese government halted the listing, citing concerns over financial regulations. It was a shocking move, one that sent shockwaves through the financial world and caused a dramatic shift in the trajectory of both Ant Group and Alibaba. Jack Ma, once a symbol of entrepreneurial freedom, found himself at odds with the government he had long navigated. In the aftermath, Jack Ma disappeared from the public eye. He was no longer seen at Alibaba's events, and his social media presence dwindled. His absence raised suspicions and rumors about his relationship with the Chinese government, and the media speculated that he had fallen out of favor with the Communist Party. Jack Ma, who had once championed innovation and disruption, was now forced to reassess his role in a rapidly changing landscape. He had built Alibaba into a global empire, but now, he was being asked to step back. Despite his absence, Alibaba's growth continued, but the company faced mounting regulatory pressures from the Chinese government. However, Jack Ma wasn't one to back down easily. In 2021, he made a quiet return to his roots, focusing on education and philanthropy. He stepped away from his role at Alibaba, but his vision remained intact. He began to invest more time in his foundation, emphasizing the importance of education and fostering new generations of leaders in China. In one of his rare public statements after his retreat, Jack Ma said, "We need to think about how to stay humble, how to grow, and how to look at the world with a broad mind." Jack Ma's step back was not a retreat, it was a recalibration. He understood that success isn't always about being in the limelight. It's about contributing to the world in meaningful ways. His life, though filled with highs and lows, taught him that resilience and adaptability were the true keys to long-term success. Jack Ma's story serves as a reminder that even the greatest entrepreneurs must navigate difficult terrain. Sometimes, the journey takes unexpected turns, and setbacks can redefine who we are. But through it all, Jack Ma remains a symbol of perseverance, a man who turned challenges into opportunities and continued to look forward. Jack Ma's own words: "The world is changing so fast. The only thing that is constant is change itself." As Jack Ma steps back from his leadership role at Alibaba, his story isn't over, it's evolving. The world might see his absence from the public spotlight, but for Jack, this was an opportunity for introspection and growth. He understood that while building one of the world's largest e-commerce empires was monumental, true success isn't just about fame or wealth, it's about impact. In 2021, Jack Ma announced his decision to focus more on education, philanthropy, and nurturing the next generation of entrepreneurs. He shifted his attention away from the pressures of running Alibaba, seeking to shape a new kind of future, one where values such as perseverance, humility, and social responsibility would guide the next wave of leaders. Despite stepping back from the day-to-day operations, Jack Ma's presence in the world of education grew. Through his foundation, he launched numerous initiatives aimed at fostering innovation and creativity among young people in China and beyond. His mission wasn't just about giving money, it was about giving knowledge, opportunities, and the tools to think critically. Jack Ma also started to emphasize the importance of leadership that focuses on people first. He often said, "If you want to be successful, don't think about success. Think about how to make others successful." His philosophy was rooted in selflessness, something that had been at the core of his business strategy, but was now even more central to his personal mission. But what did Jack Ma truly want his legacy to be? Through his own words, "I hope that in the future, I will be remembered as a teacher, not a businessman." This reflected his deeper purpose, not to be admired for his success, but to be remembered for his contribution to a world that thrives on the growth and success of others. Jack Ma's legacy is not just about the size of his wealth or the companies he built. It's about the values he instilled, the lives he changed, and the generations he inspired. His story serves as a beacon of resilience, creativity, and above all, humility. A reminder that no matter how high we rise, the true measure of success lies in our ability to give back and leave a lasting, positive impact on the world. In the end, Jack Ma's journey is a testament to the power of reinvention. Even when faced with adversity, he found new paths to explore. From his humble beginnings to becoming a global entrepreneur and philanthropist, Jack Ma shows us that success is not a straight line, it's a journey of learning, adapting, and growing. As he once said, "The most important thing is to keep your mind young and not give up." And with that mindset, Jack Ma continues to shape the future, one step at a time. Jack Ma's own words. "You never know how much you can achieve until you try." Jack Ma's journey is a powerful reminder that success is not defined by wealth alone. His story is one of resilience, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of dreams against all odds. From his humble beginnings in Hangzhou to leading one of the most successful e-commerce empires in the world, Jack Ma proved that with perseverance, creativity, and a willingness to embrace failure, anything is possible. But Jack Ma's greatest legacy lies in his belief that true leadership is about serving others. His decision to step back from Alibaba and focus on education, philanthropy, and mentorship shows that success is not just about what we achieve for ourselves, but how we lift others along the way. Through his foundation, his speeches, and his actions, Jack Ma has inspired millions to think bigger, take risks, and trust the process, all while staying grounded in values like humility, empathy, and a love for learning. His legacy is not just one of business achievements, but of creating a ripple effect that continues to shape the future of entrepreneurship, education, and leadership. In the end, Jack Ma's story is about never giving up, continually evolving, and most importantly, making the world a better place. As we reflect on his life, remember his words. The most important thing is to keep your mind young and not give up. For Jack Ma, the journey continues, and so does the inspiration he leaves behind for generations to come.